How deep will you go? How deep the distance? Sinking low. Flash flood. Give up comfort for ambition. Welcome unmet expectations. Unprepared, but here we go. Flash flood. Flash flood. The moon pulls me like the tide. Moon pull resistance. Come along for the ride. Can you float? Here we go. Exciting, climb so high. Exciting the distance. Till you're free, fall from the sky. Whoa. Flash flood. Flash flood.
What does being an artist mean to me?
Being an artist for me means really knowing what your gift is, knowing what you're blessed with, and perfecting it to the best of your abilities.
Being an artist to me means being free to create and being free to receive inspiration from God and share with others.
Or what does being an artist mean to you? Well, simply put, an artist is an expressor. Or another way to put it is a conduit of expression. For example, everybody feels or has a range of emotions, limited or expansive. But artists are especially good at highlighting that human condition through whatever suspended moment in time that is true to form. And a good artist is one that is honest about the perspective and how it's presented.
To me, being an artist means you're taking a risk in whatever field by going against the status quo, passionately doing something your abnormal way. That could mean you're mastering or mastered something. Also could mean you're an originator and there is no master's skill. Either way, you're stepping into an often misunderstood realm to live your artistry. And the ones that don't understand that distinction could be artists still blooming their eyes to see that they are flowers. Or could be examples of what it means to not be an artist.
Honestly, I think what is beautiful about my art form, I'm a dancer. I was a graduate in 2003. Honestly, what I love about being a dancer is I can continue to be a human. And I think that's what it is, to translate my human qualities into my artistry. When there's something a little bit more coming from a facade place, it's really difficult for me to reach that. But when I'm able to be in total myself is when I'm best at my work.
Before any audition, I would call or I would text my mom and be like, "All right, sugar, so I have an audition today. Could you send up a prayer for me?" And she would respond, "Yes, you got this. Just go in there and do what you know how to do." And I keep those words with me all the time. If I don't feel like texting her, if it's something I'm just like, oh, I actually want to keep this to myself, before I let her know, I'll replay those words. Just go in there and do what you know how to do. That's what being an artist is, taking your gift and really perfecting it to its best abilities. You're always going to be working. You're always going to be finding new things and removing old things with your gift. For example, being a singer, I'm, I know how to approach a song, but then I want to get to a point where I'm able to produce a song and to write and to all of that. All of that is a part of the craft, a part of the gift. And so if I can just continue to for lack of a better word, one up myself, then I'm perfecting it. Then I'm continuing to being an artist, and doing what it is that I know how to do.
Hey, love, may I have a word with you? I'd like to tell you just what I've been going through. My nights are so long as I watch each hour go by, hoping and praying that someday I will be your guide.
How did HSPVA influence your approach?
HSPVA influenced me in a multitude of ways, but the one that really comes to mind was just meeting my friends and being influenced by the teachers that were so amazing, really encouraging us to just be ourselves.
Well, early on, being exposed to the different aspects of show business was very enlightening, and interacting with different types of people and a wide variety of characters definitely prepared me for the different personalities and types of people you'd have to work with in a professional setting, because you won't always be able to work with people you know. So flexibility and adaptability are some of the key points, key features I learned while going to HSPVA, and that effectively affected my approach to everything I did, ranging from education, production, performance, anything I touch. I try to keep in mind all the things that I've learned, so that these mistakes will eventually minimize to nothing, or decrease or diminish into nothingness. And yeah, that's it.
I think it was, like for many people, I think it was the first place that I was able to fully express myself in my art, express myself as a person without, judgment. And so it helped me hone in on exactly what it is that I wanted to do. Now, of course, I had distractions from, outside of school and everything, but it really helped me say yes to really wanting to pursue a career in the arts, a career in theater, to be on Broadway, to be on a television show and in a film. And the people around me, specifically in my class and the classes above me, really gave me a lot of inspiration, just watching how they worked, how they approached a script, how they approached writing or a song. And, growing up in South Park, I didn't have a lot of people doing that for me. So to be able to see other people who have the same love for the arts, for lack of better words, do that really, really helped me out.
To be honest, I think I was kind of going through the flow when I was a student at HSPVA. And I think I started learning a little bit more about my artistry is when I attended the Alumni summer program in 2001. And the reason why I say that is because as I was a student at H.I.S.D and I was a student at PVA, I didn't really know who I was. But then when I was a part of some of the greatest dancers during that summer, I could see where I stood. I could see how talented I was. And I think that was the first moment where I started transitioning into being my greatest self. But that took a long time.
I'd say constructively and collaboratively. HSPVA was big on constructive criticism, and that's a group effort that helps us grow in our artistry, crossing art areas and finding multiple ways to express a feeling, render a vision, depict a dream.
Ain't no sense in lying, I don't call nobody mine. And I ain't checking for nobody either, I promise I'm fine. I'd rather chase money to spend, cause I can't see myself spending time. I don't need one on my side, cause I can't be worrying about you when I'm busy trying to get mine. I ain't trying to be in my feelings and sitting upset. No, I'd rather be in my bag. I only see what's ahead of me, never look back, cause I can't do nothing about the past. My income is way too important, can't put you before it, I'll never do that. I'm on the road to the riches and something go fast, doing everything on my dash, oh yeah. I could care less about who mad, I'm too concerned with this cash, yeah. I could care less about who mad, all I care about.
When did you know your craft was your purpose?
I knew that my craft was my passion when it wasn't easy to do it, and I did it anyway. When my peers thought that it wasn't cool to attend a school mostly populated by other categories, gender identities, sexuality, social or visible peculiarities, and still wanted to go live in my craft, even though I was stepping out of their cool zone. I am other, and because I am Black, overcoming the fear of feeling alienated wasn't foreign to me. I knew I am purposeful.
I knew very early on that I wanted to do theater. I knew that I wanted to sing. I knew that I wanted to dance. I knew that I was good at them. And so with the resources that we had, my mom made sure to put me into whatever program that she could find, you know. I got into the ensemble theater. Getting into HSPVA was a huge deal for me. So I knew that I wanted to pursue this career for the rest of my life. Now, as far as my purpose, I'm still working on that. I'm still asking questions, you know, because theater, I don't consider theater my purpose. I consider theater my career choice. I consider it something that I love, something that I'm very good at, but there's so much more in all of it. So, you know, I still ask questions. I know that I'd like to reach people with my artistry, reach people with my craft through song. While I'm on stage, I want someone to feel everything that I'm feeling as I'm telling a story. So yeah, I have many questions about what my purpose is on earth, what my purpose is while I'm doing, while I am on stage, while I am in front of a camera.
I knew that my craft was my purpose when I saw the difference that it made in others' lives in a positive way, and I felt good about it. That was really special.
I really don't know if my craft is my purpose. I do know part of my purpose is being the best version of myself while I'm here. And that my craft helped shape who I am today. So the purpose is still in development or developing as my craft grows. So what I do know is that this is all a part of the process. And to know for sure would have to be nearing, you know, making some more leeway in my opinion. So I don't really know if my craft is my purpose, but time will definitely tell. And hope y'all stay tuned to stick around and see it.
To be honest, I didn't really know, especially when I was in high school. I just loved dancing, and you couldn't tell me I couldn't dance. That's all I wanted to do. However, I think I started really understanding that I had a purpose for it when I started learning how to choreograph. I think within the 4 years of having composition at HSPVA, I used that moment to create work, which was the work that I actually won 4 years in a row with the NAACP Axel competition. And in that same breath, I used my own choreography as well, which helped me become a presidential scholar. And as I started getting older and inserting myself in dance companies, I knew that I had a passion for choreography. And so that's when I started understanding all these different platforms and why I needed to insert myself and my voice as a choreographer. Now, I'm grateful to be able to share my experience as a dancer, my experience as a choreographer with the new generation at HSPVA, as I am a consultant with the school today. And that, for me, is the most rewarding moment, to be able to kind of come back to kind of my old stomping grounds and be able to create a space for those young students to be able to share my experiences, and for them to create a different way and a different space for the new generation as well. That is actually the beauty of this art form, the beauty of the world, you know, and grateful, and I've been grateful to be able to share my craft and my gift.
Am I optimistic about the arts and cultural industry?
I am optimistic, yes, about arts and culture industry, because we always will be inspired. We'll always be able to create and recreate the world that we really want and that we need.
Yes, because I'm in it. Optimism is confidence. I have relentless confidence in our diverse narratives and the gems among us that will bring growth and all-around wealth to art and culture.
Absolutely. We have so much now in our possession, all of us, that I think there is no excuse to getting it done. There are so many resources, so many people who we can ask questions and be like, hey, I need this, or, you know, vice versa, someone asking us for something. We're in a time now that it's all at our fingertips, you know, and maybe it was like that before and I just never realized it. But I'm realizing it now more and more that we actually have the power to change how our world in this industry works. And it is a lot of saying no. It is a lot of putting our foot down and being very confident in the work that we're bringing to the table. It is a lot of us stepping back from things and getting help, and not being so much in our heads, not letting our pride and egos getting in the way. I think that there are some beautiful things ahead for all of us, and we are being led. I think the people who came before us have led us in a direction where we can now take the reins and lead the next generation after us. I'm thinking about the senior class when I was a freshman. All of them are doing amazing things and really taking charge and taking the reins and taking everything by the horns and being like, we got this, we're not stopping, we're moving forward no matter what, with or without your help. And that is huge for me. That is a big inspiration that continues to draw me in more to do more work, to get myself out there, and to, you know, let all of the things in my head, all of the insecurities go, because people are creating, people are making work happen. And I'm trying to continue to be a part of it. And I want everyone after me to be a part of it as well.
To be honest, I'm a little bit iffy about it. I'll kind of say a little bit about my life is that what was different in the 90s and 2000s was that, you know, we can talk about music as an example. When, you know, a group put out, or an artist put out an album in the 90s, that album would be milked for a whole year and a half before they even start thinking about creating new music for the following 2 to 3 years later. And it allowed us as an audience member or a listener to dig deep on the body of work that they created within that album. I think things become so fast-paced with the social media phenomena that we are not able to understand the artist, the work, or the language that they're trying to put out with vocabulary, physical vocabulary, vocal vocabulary, even with theater. And I think that with the fast pace of social media, even I feel like I have to create a body of work constantly. And I want to also have time for my dancers, myself, to become better in our art form, to become better in how we are trying to express the topics of today. However, with the pandemic happening and with a lot of the social movements that we had last summer, especially Black Lives Matter, I think it is allowing us today to slow down and to give ourselves pauses to be able to hear and understand what we're trying to present and put out there in the world. I'm grateful that I have this platform to speak, and I'm grateful that, you know, I've worked with several choreographers and people in the business who've helped channel new takes of today. But I just hope that we can think differently in how we're gonna create work, how we're gonna put work out there, and the sensitivity of those things. That's all. I think we should think more about the sensitivity of what we're putting out there instead of just putting things out there because we feel like we're being rushed by social media.
The arts and culture within the industry. Well, optimistic. I think of a blend of a lot of things. Optimism, skepticism, realism, but a lot of aloofness for the most part. I mean, I feel like the industry perpetuates itself. So, you know, what's popular will be popular. What falls off will fall off. And then whatever's cool, the next trend, you'll catch that wave. But for right now, the ride is very interesting. And I'm actually looking forward to what the future has to hold. But until then, you know, we out here.
You've got to the tree of life, to the tree of life. You've got to the tree of life, to the tree of ups and downs. But you gotta rise, but you gotta rise. You've got to the tree of life, to the tree hills and hills. But you gotta rise, but you gotta rise. You've got to the tree of life, to the tree. Oh, you've got to the right, to the tree. Oh, you've got to right, to the tree.